Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for a very exciting Royal Caribbean webinar. My name is Anna. I'm an Industry Relations Specialist here at CLIA, and I'm going to just quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenters. This webinar will run about 30 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions into the questions module of the webinar, and we'll get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. The webinar is being recorded, and it'll be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, which is CLIA Global. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce our presenters, Marissa Olsovsky and Lori Bond. Marissa has been with the company for over 10 years and worked in various departments within Royal Caribbean, which has helped her gain much needed knowledge for her current role as Royal Caribbean Training Specialist. For the past 4 years, she's been with the training team at Royal Caribbean and supports the Southeast Territories of the United States and all of Canada. Additionally, Marissa supports all of the wonderful travel partners, whether it's training them on board one of Royal's beautiful ships or giving them monthly national trade webcasts to learn the latest news and announcements. And our second presenter is Lori, who is Royal Caribbean's Associate Vice President of National Accounts. And as part of the industry's largest sales organization, she oversees trade association partnerships and the cruise line's relationships with North America's top travel advisors, agencies, and networks. Lori and her team manage the sales and marketing initiatives of these accounts, driving an original approach to achieving success. And with that, take it away.
Thank you, Anna. And I know Marissa and I, are we excited today or what to talk about Royal Caribbean?
We are very excited, as always, to be on with all of you.
We are. And you know, we rely on you. We count on you to deliver our message. We count on you to explain the differences that Royal Caribbean offers to your guests and our clients. And it's that wonderful relationship that we want to thank you for first and foremost, and then just share with you a quick update of all that we have in store as we move into the rest of 2020 and all the excitement 2021 will bring. We have lots to talk about today, so let's go to the next slide and talk about the Caribbean. You see, at Royal Caribbean, if we don't own the Caribbean together with you, we really can't succeed. And so what I want to do to get started today is to share with you a little bit of our Caribbean highlights that we have and talk about the ships, give you a quick reminder of where they are as we really drive home success in the year of 2020. And I like to think of it as an Oasis class takeover when we look at where our 4 largest ships in the world are sailing this year. And it's really pretty simple with the first 2. The Symphony of the Seas, our newest ship, she's sailing the Eastern and Western Caribbean itineraries. Harmony of the Seas will also be out of Orlando, again, sailing throughout the entire year in the same home ports. But the Allure of the Seas is going to have a little bit of fun. You see, she's in Miami right now, and she is just getting ready to go to what I like to call her beauty makeover, her European-style one, because she will be getting a 65-day renovation. She will be amplified, and she will be made to be competitive with Symphony of the Seas and Harmony of the Seas and all the new spaces that they have, and even some they don't. So she will spend some time in dry dock, and then she will reemerge doing her European itinerary out of Barcelona before coming back over to the Western Caribbean. And then, of course, Oasis of the Seas will be sailing out of Cape Liberty. And can somebody say a big, bold adventure is coming to the Big Apple? We're so excited. For the first time ever, we are going to have the Oasis of the Seas, newly amplified, I'll remind you, sailing out of Cape Liberty as of May of this year. So super exciting things happening with Oasis-class ships. But there's some other class of ships that are doing some great Caribbean itineraries as well. And that would be our Freedom class. Now, the Freedom class ships sail year-round, and Freedom of the Seas is actually out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. And then the Liberty of the Seas is out of Galveston. So we're really excited to have 2 great home ports. And boy, those Freedom of the Seas itineraries into the deep Southern Caribbean, if you're a diver like me, and you don't have to just be a diver to enjoy them. The beaches, the beautiful Caribbean, Southern Caribbean islands are spectacular to see. So you may have to go a little further to get to the ship. I will tell you it is well worth it for the itinerary. And for those Texans and those in the surrounding states, everybody loves the ease and flexibility of driving and or flying into Houston to sail on Liberty of the Seas. Now, those are our 7-night collection, but we have some short Caribbean cruises that have become really popular. And for those of you who think to yourself, we don't always like to focus on short Caribbean. There's a huge market for that. You see, we at Royal Caribbean are always interested in attracting new to cruise. And we know that short Caribbean cruises are the on-ramp to that new to cruise client. Whether it's a millennial traveler, they like the short Caribbean cruises, or that new to cruise guest, they're willing to give it a shot. And boy, do we have some wonderful ships, including so many of our amplified ships, which I'll explain in a little more detail in just a moment. But Navigator of the Sea sails out of Miami, doing 3 and 4 night cruises. Mariner out of Orlando, Mariner of the Seas, doing 3 and 4 night cruises, both amplified. Independence of the Seas is out of Fort Lauderdale, doing 4 and 5 night rotations. So really, really exciting there. Great, great itineraries, great opportunities for you to introduce cruisers and introduce them in fine style on Royal Caribbean. So let's see what else we have in store when it comes to Caribbean itineraries. Just a quick highlight, there's more than just the ships mentioned, of course, because we have Enchantment of the Seas, now doing short Caribbean cruises out of Galveston. The Adventure of the Seas, doing 4 and 5 night cruises out of Galveston. And that'll be later in the year. And then the Brilliance of the Seas, and she is sailing out of Tampa. So my gosh, when it comes to dry ports and short Caribbean cruises, Marissa, wouldn't you say we pretty much got it covered?
Yes, that's an understatement. We definitely have it covered.
Now, what I want to ask you, Marissa, is which is your favorite short Caribbean cruise port to sail out of?
Well, I would have to say Port Canaveral, Florida, because it is only 20 minutes away from my house, and it's on the Mariner of the Seas, which is newly amplified, and it goes the perfect day. So it's a win-win.
Okay, I love it, because you realize, and we didn't point this out, or I didn't point it out, so I will gladly do so now. Our short Caribbean cruises out of Fort Lauderdale, out of Miami, and out of Port Canaveral, the Mariner, the Independence, and the Navigator of the Seas, all go to perfect day at CocoBeach on all their itineraries. Really great point. For me, Marissa, because I'm in Miami and I'm close to the port of Miami, I love the Navigator. I love the to dry board, blow dry bar. I like Playmaker Sports Bar because I'm a football fan in the fall. I like the convenience, and I also love the idea, ladies and gentlemen, if you have clients that don't live in Miami, still think about 3 and 4 night cruising, and quite frankly for Port Canaveral or Fort Lauderdale as well, because the pre and post opportunities, whether you do Disney or Universal out of Port Canaveral, or you're down in Miami and you want to do a South Beach weekend or maybe the Food and Wine Festival and then take a cruise, there's so many things you can do. But I know a lot of our Texans really love the fact that we now have Galveston as a short Caribbean cruise market, as well as those longer Caribbean cruises. Let's see what else is in store. Well, we've already talked about Majesty, we haven't talked about Majesty and Empress, I'm sorry, but I am excited to tell you that, we might have had these ships in Cuba, but things changed dramatically last year, and we decided to do some really great and very interesting new deployment. You see, the Majesty of the Seas is now sailing 7-night cruises out of New Orleans. The Big Easy. If you all have ever been to New Orleans, it's a great pre and post city, and every one of those Western Caribbean itineraries includes perfect day at CocoBeach. And then, of course, we have the Empress of the Seas out of Miami, and she's doing a really interesting combination of 6, 7, and 8-night Caribbean cruises. The 6 and 7 nights are to the Western, and the 8 nights are to the Eastern Caribbean. So really have some great itineraries on some more intimate ships, the Majesty of the Seas and Empress of the Seas. Now, let's talk about a newly amplified Explorer of the Seas, and we're shifting gears out of the Caribbean for just a minute to tell you that Rome is going to be where it's happening with the brand new, well, newly amplified, I should say. She's going to feel brand new, Explorer of the Seas. So we're super excited to be introducing upgraded and new Adventure Ocean programming and spaces, Playmakers. Sports Bar is a great sports bar to enjoy, the water slides, which all of our amplified ships now have, and even the laser tag, which is super, super fun. So we're really excited to be reminding you all that the Explorer of the Seas will be sailing out of Europe, and she will be newly amplified. So let's have a look at a little bit more about what the amplified ship schedule looks like. What do you think, Marissa? So
I think we have
go.
a very big lineup.
We do. So, okay. So if y'all couldn't keep track because A, I talk fast, and B, I tell you a lot in a small amount of time, I'm going to let you see here that this is our schedule, and it kind of lets you see visually where we are. And you can see in 2018, we did the Independence of the Seas and the Mariner of the Seas, added the water slides. Independence has the Sky Pad, which is an exciting attraction. They've got laser tag. They've got all the new restaurant venues. And then last year was a busy year as well. We did 3 of our ships. We did Navigator of the Seas, Voyager of the Seas, and then even the Oasis of the Seas. And I mentioned earlier, you know, if we don't win in the Caribbean and we don't win it with Oasis class, we simply can't win. And so we need you, especially on the world's largest ships. And Oasis of the Seas was the first to make her debut 10 years ago, actually now 11. And she has been completely redone. Water slides, the ultimate abyss. There's a brand new portside barbecue. I don't know, Marissa, if you've tried it, but I love it. I'm a barbecue fan anyway, being from the Midwest originally, and absolutely love it. But then this year is a busy year as well. Freedom of the Seas is just about ready to come out of her dry dock. And I know you all can't yell out and tell me. I wish we were all in person so you could. But remember, Freedom is sailing out of San Juan. The Explorer of the Seas, we just saw and we're reminded it'll be sailing out of Europe starting in May. And then the Allure of the Seas, remember, she's getting her European beauty makeover as well. And we'll also have a wonderful summer in Europe after she is newly amplified. The only ships left in the current program will be the Liberty of the Seas next year and the Adventure of the Seas. So I will tell you, it has been an aggressive building program. It's basically $1 billion investment to the existing fleet to really modernize and make them exciting and competitive with the brand new ships sailing. Speaking of brand new ships, I might have a little something to share with you. In the next 6 years, we have 6 new ships coming online. That's right, you're not seeing things. There's not a glitch in our PowerPoint presentation. We have 6 new ships. Now, I don't know what y'all see when you see this slide, but I know what I see. And I see job security for you all, our valued travel advisors, and for us. Right, Marissa? And of course you too, Anna, because CLIA is so important to the equation of all of our success. But anyway, the Odyssey of the Seas, which I'm going to give you a little more detail about in a moment, is due out this November, and she will make her debut in Fort Lauderdale. Again, I'll show you more details in just a moment. But then there's the Wonder of the Seas. And the Wonder of the Seas is going to be absolutely spectacular. It is our 5th Oasis class ship. And super exciting details. There will be some changes to the ship. And I know I wish I wish I could tell you, but I can't tell you anything quite yet. But I'm sure you're going to hear more this year. Now, the Icon class is a very exciting class. Cutting edge, new and innovative spaces. And I will tell you, so much excitement. We have an innovation lab here in Miami at our corporate headquarters. They've been working for over 2 years behind closed doors to develop out new themes, new spaces, and new attractions for our Icon class. More to come, hopefully, very soon. And then, of course, we'll have the 6th Oasis class ship come into the fleet in 2023, the 2nd Icon class in 2024, and the 3rd Icon class in 2025. So it is going to be a busy time. We are already the largest individual cruise brand in the world, and this is going to keep us on track to continue that streak. So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into the Odyssey of the Seas. I had mentioned she'll be making her debut in November in Fort Lauderdale. Now, the Odyssey of the Seas is the first Ultra Quantum class ship. And I am so excited for this ship because we've had the Anthem out of the Northeast. We have the Ovation of the Seas out of Alaska, but they're not Ultra Quantum class. They're a traditional Quantum class ship. So this ship, we're going to start announcing details soon, but it'll have all sorts of bells and whistles. You can see shown here, it's going to have a sky pad. It'll have the iFly by Ripcord, which is the simulated skydiving experience. Of course, the Flow Rider, one of our signatures, to name just a few of the many attractions. One of the other things I'm particularly excited about is it's going to have a Playmaker sports bar up in the big Seaplex, which is a huge indoor activity space where we have trapeze and circus school and bumper cars and and a DJ, which has a DJ booth that flies out over the middle of the entire two-story area. Basketball, you name it, tons of indoor activities can be enjoyed there. And I'm even more excited to tell you that after she has a beautiful winter season in Florida, that she will then sail in summer of 2021 out of Rome. So I want you all to be thinking, as you plan ahead, groups are a really key way of being profitable. So if you have ever thought of doing a group, do it on the Odyssey of the Seas in Europe next summer out of Rome, and get that group space now, because if you wait, I actually think it might even be not too late, but certainly this is the time to take that space. And in fact, we normally would have tried to tell you more about 21 deployment, but I think it was more important to remind you of things happening here and now. But 2021, for the most part, is open for sale. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the perfect time to get those groups blocked and plan your groups and get out early with promotions. So Odyssey of the Seas, let's see a little more detail in where she's actually sailing. She's from Fort Lauderdale. She'll do Eastern and Western Caribbean itineraries. I love the idea that she will be stopping at Perfect Day at CocoCay, as well as Jamaica and even Labadee on some of the itineraries. So our private island experiences are really, really amazing here. But speaking of private island experiences, and we've talked about Perfect Day without detail, Marissa, it is a perfect day at CocoCay or a perfect day at Royal Caribbean, wouldn't you say?
I absolutely would say that. And, you know, I just love being able to talk about this topic. It's one of my favorites. And if you haven't heard already, this is another Royal Caribbean game changer that they have, and it's huge. It was a huge announcement. So Royal Caribbean, they are creating a global lineup of private destinations, and we are going to be calling it the Perfect Day Island Collection. So from each island that they're creating and that they have in the works, we can expect something new. They'll have exciting, more thrills, tons of adventures will be on this island. So we're really excited to see, you know, what's to come with this collection, what's going to be new, just new exciting things that they're always thinking of at Royal Caribbean. So first we brought to you, and I know Lori had just mentioned it, Perfect Day at CocoCay. And we all know and love Perfect Day at CocoCay. And now it's time to go a little further off the grid. We are bringing it over to the South Pacific, and this is going to be Royal Caribbean's second private island destination, and we are going to call it Perfect Day at Lelepa. So this new island, or I can say actually this new paradise, is going to be located in Vanuatu. The island, it's going to allow our cruise guests not to just explore the natural wonders of the destination in Lelepa, but there's plenty of opportunities to engage in the culture that the island has to offer if they want to do that as well when our cruise guests are there. And even though we don't have many pictures yet of Lelepa, what we do know is that this new destination here, it's going to be very unique. It's going to offer something different that no other destination has. And you know, the best part about that is that this island, just like Perfect Day at CocoCay, it is exclusive to Royal Caribbean guests. So a lot of you are probably thinking, when is this going to open? So right now, Perfect Day at Lelepa, it is set to open to our cruise guests in 2022. So I would suggest, you know, if you're looking to receive more information, you or your clients, you can sign up to receive Royal Caribbean emails. And in order to do that, you go to royalcaribbean.com/perfectday@Lelepa, and you'll see the little area that you can sign up for like the latest announcements on this island, what's coming, when it's coming, what ships, etc. And, you know, this is also a great way for signing up here to be just one of the first to know when bookings will open to this private destination and when you can start booking it, because that's what we're all looking forward to. So I want to go ahead, just take a little closer look on the map where Perfect Day at Lelepa will be located, just quickly in the South Pacific here. So you can see it's at the northeast end of Australia. Again, it's in Vanuatu. It's a little over 1,000 miles east of Brisbane, and it's about 650 miles-ish west of Fiji. I did go ahead, I placed a little blue anchor logo over where the actual island is on the map here. And I went ahead and enlarged it in the circle to the left, just to kind of show you how the island is shaped and just to get a better eye of what the island entails. Now, the island of Lelepa that we'll be calling on, it's over 1,800 acres, And Perfect Day at Lalepa will be located at the northern end or the northern tip of the island. So there is a lot of acreage to explore when we start calling on here in 2022. So of course, we have a lot in mind when building a new destination as always. And, you know, following our commitment to being environmentally friendly, we will be building Perfect Day at Lalepa with sustainability features. It's going to be designed to safeguard the island's ecosystems. And also Lalepa, it's going to be created keeping its rich cultural heritage. We're not going to change that. And, you know, we're not going to also change the island's natural beauty. Why would we do that? Because it's already such a beautiful place. We are just going to add to it. I also think it's good to know that, and I always like to state this when I'm speaking on a webinar, that Lalepa, it's home, well, this particular island is home to more than 500 local people. And as we normally do, we are consulting extensively with these communities here. And as we have done in our other private islands, such as Labadee and COCOBEACH, we love to employ locals just to help manage the destination because, you know, they're experts there, they know. And as well as opportunities for local vendors to sell their authentic handcrafts to guests when visiting the destination. Now, there's a lot more to come on Lalepa. Royal Caribbean also has plenty more in store for the Perfect Day Island collection. There are going to be new private destinations in the works around the globe. We don't have any more information on it yet, so just stay tuned. Okay, so this is exciting news, and this is what I was very excited to talk about. Just happened a few weeks ago, and our newly opened Cocoa Beach Club on Perfect Day is finally here. We are so excited about the first pictures that we have received, and this is really what we wanted to showcase and show to all of you today. So on January 31st, we did welcome the very first guest to the Cocoa Beach Club on the island. And this is just another milestone that we have hit on the Perfect Day at COCOBEACH Island, which marks the completion of a $250 million transformation. And this is just phase one for Perfect Day. Now, the Cocoa Beach Club that I'm going to show you here, this is an exclusive beach club, and it does showcase the very first floating cabanas in the Bahamas. Also, it has an oceanfront infinity pool, beach cabanas. There is a dedicated restaurant that has upscale dining, and then there's also an exclusive bar that are just for those that go into the Cocoa Beach Club or pay entry into it. So with that, I just said pay. So Cocoa Beach Club, there is an additional charge, but for the experience that you're getting, to be quite honest, it's very minimal. So for a full day entry fee pass into Cocoa Beach Club, it is $99, or starting from $99 per adult, and then children start at $79. Children under 3 are free into Cocoa Beach Club. So once I go ahead, I'm going to show you everything that's included. You're going to see the value that this new area on the island has. So let's go ahead and let's dive into it. Let's take a look at some of the first pictures that we received during the January 31st sailing into Perfect Day. So this picture is breathtaking. This is one of the first floating cabanas in the Bahamas. And just look at this picture. There are 20 of them. They're very spacious floating cabanas. They have, of course, the best views of the ocean that you can get. And then each of these cabanas, they do accommodate up to 8 guests each. Now, in order to get to your floating cabana, you may wonder, you know, do I have to take a little boat out there? No, there is a floating walkway. So kind of similar if you've ever been to or have seen pictures of like Bora Bora, Tahiti, or any other type of floating cabanas, there's those little walkways. But I'm going to show you an aerial shot actually in the next few slides. It just kind of is an overview and you'll see how the layout of it is. But you know, this cabana, it just looks fun. It looks relaxing. From the slide on the right into the water, there's an overwater hammock here on the left. It's like your own personal oasis that you can or your guests can have when they come to Cocoa Beach Club at Perfect Day. So a floating cabana, it does start from $9.99 per cabana, and that is up to 8 guests. Entry fee is included in the cost of the cabana, so you don't have to pay the additional cost of the entry fee if you are reserving a cabana. Now, the cost does fluctuate though. It depends on season. And I can tell you that these floating cabanas, there are a very hot selling item right now, of course, because they're new. They just came out, and look at them. I mean, they're great if you had the opportunity to have one. So if you do have clients that are interested in reserving one of these on their upcoming sailing, I would say that the sooner you reserve, the better, because they are, or they have been selling out. So let's take a look at what the interior looks like. So inside the floating cabana here, you have a sectional sofa. There's a lounge chair, dining area. It has a ceiling fan in case you need a little more of a breeze. There is a private 2-person overwater hammock, which I was just talking about in the slide, that goes right into the ocean. You do also have your own personal cabana attendant. And I do get this question a lot since we have been showcasing these new pictures. And guests in the floating cabanas, they can order and have delivered anything from the restaurant menu to them by their cabana attendants, or anything else that they need. It also has a wet bar, there's a mini bar, unlimited bottled water. So honestly, the only reason that your guests would need to leave their personal cabana would be to use the restroom. Otherwise, honestly, everything's at your fingertips in your cabana. There's even a freshwater shower within the cabana to rinse off. It has lockable storage. If you need a charging outlet, if you're bringing your phone because you're taking so many pictures on your fun vacation in your cabana, there is a charging outlet. They also provide floating mats with snorkel gear if you do want to venture off into the water as well. Okay,
I'm
so
ready, Marissa.
So am I. I know. I'm ready to go and check it out.
Let's go.
So we have beach cabanas. This is the second cabana option that we have in Cocoa Beach Club. There are 10 of these. So there was 20 of the floating, and there are 10 exclusive beach cabanas as well that do face directly to the ocean. And these cabanas, they do include the sectional sofa. You can see here lounge chairs. There's a dining area, ceiling fan, and more. It does also include a cabana attendant. It has a mini bar and also unlimited bottled water. And same as the floating cabana. Guests in the beach cabanas, they can order and they can have anything delivered from the restaurant menu by their cabana attendant. They don't have to venture over to the restaurant unless they want to. I mean, the options are endless. They're on vacation. If they want to relax, they can. If they want to go to the restaurant or to the bar and have some drinks, they can do that as well. And then this is just a kind of a zoomed in look here. This is the interior then of the beach cabana. This is also up to 8 guests. The starting price for the beach cabanas is starting from $5.49 per cabana, and that's also, again, up to 8 guests, and it does include the entry fee. So you don't have to additionally pay the entry fee to get into or if you have a cabana. And then, you know, it's a lot of the same amenities with these cabanas as the floating. The minibar stocked. It is important to note, though, the beverages in the minibar, they are included if you have purchased the beverage package on your cruise. Otherwise, the minibar, it is available at a la carte pricing. So you kind of have the convenience of just having what you would like to drink there versus needing to get it from the bar or your cabana attendant needing to go to the bar to get it. We have lockable storage. There is a storage closet. They also have charging outlets, and then floating mats also come with it, and then unlimited bottled water. Okay, so this is the clubhouse now, and I would say that this clubhouse is pretty much the center gathering point at Cocoa Beach Club. And just from the picture here, honestly, you can kind of see why it's the central area. It's absolutely stunning. There is a large bar that serves specialty cocktails, and the specialty cocktail that they have within Cocoa Beach Club is called the COCOBEACH signature drink. And here's what's in it. It sounds delicious. It is Shandong sparkling wine, Malibu rum, coconut water, and pineapple juice. Delicious. Also, it has, there's 2,600 square foot ocean foot infinity pool, and you're actually seeing that in the picture right here. It does have in-pool loungers. There are complimentary day beds. There's poolside service throughout the day. So my conclusion is that this sounds exactly like my perfect day. What about you, Lori?
I'm in. It's making it hard to sit here right now. So I don't know what to tell you. You got it. It's the perfect day. Let's do it.
Yes. There's also, we have an exclusive Cocoa Beach Club restaurant, again, for those guests that with entry into Cocoa Beach Club. And this restaurant here, it has an upgraded menu. So it's offering dishes. They have fresh grouper, filet mignon, lobster. There is also a buffet area if they want salads and starters, but the upgraded menu does come off of an actual menu. So are you reserving as if you are in a restaurant? And then I know those get hungry throughout the day. We will accommodate that here. There'll be complimentary snacks. They have coffee and pastry service in the morning, and they sprinkle around appetizers throughout lunch. That's also available. And all this food is free of charge. You don't have to pay anything extra for it. It's included in the entry fee to Cocoa Beach Club. Also important to note, there is a kids menu available if you have little ones with you coming into Cocoa Beach Club, because there is no age restriction here. So any ages or any age is allowed to come into Cocoa Beach Club. Okay, so this is the picture I was telling you, that aerial shot. So, overall, let's say, what can your clients expect at Cocoa Beach Club? There's going to be many, many luxurious amenities for your guests. For instance, complimentary premium towels, beach umbrellas, beach chairs. There are pool beds around the pool deck, floating mats on the beach. There's the enhanced dining menu that we just spoke about. Plus, there are freshwater showers at the pool area. And then remember that floating cabana, it does have their own private freshwater showers within each floating cabana. And because safety is so important to us at Royal Caribbean, there will be lifeguards at the pool and also on the beach area as well. Now, we do have a tram service that's dedicated just to those guests of Cocoa Beach Club, and it runs approximately about every 10 minutes all day between the ship and Cocoa Beach Club, and it's your own dedicated tram. So it's just for those guests that are going to Cocoa Beach Club. There is also accessible trams for the use of any wheelchair guests, along with beach fan wheelchairs that are also available on the island. And we have a lot of these images available for your use if you would like to ever use them or download them for any marketing reason or reasoning. It is on RoyalCaribbeanPressCenter.com. And we have tons and tons of marketing collateral, flyers, FAQs, which will come in handy because I'm sure everyone has a lot of questions right now. There's a pricing guide that includes all the pricing to not just Cocoa Beach, but to Perfect Day in general. And this is all on loyaltoualways.com. And you'll see there's an entire section on there dedicated to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which will include the Cocoa Beach Club stuff as well. Okay, that was a lot. So let's keep on.
You are doing good, girl. I know.
Well, thank you.
I would try to jump in, but you're doing such a great job. I can't get a word in edgewise in all the right ways. It's all good. So excited.
So I'm going to keep on the island here, and I do want to bring it over, though, to Thrill Water Park. And this is another area at Perfect Day. So this is something new we just introduced, and I just wanted to quickly note it. Your guests can now score exclusive early access to Thrill Water Park, and it's with the Rise and Slide Pass. So this gives you no lines, minimal guests. There's fast access to riding all of your favorite water slides, all before the park opens to the public. So before the park opens to all the guests on the cruise ship. You can also enjoy, or they will have complimentary breakfast for you. But definitely hurry on this pass if you have guests or clients interested in it, because space is limited. They only give out a certain amount of these per sailing. And again, we always recommend making pre-reservations for everything so you don't miss out. So how can you purchase?
And where do you do that, Marissa? The Cruise Planner.
Yeah.
That Cruise Planner is your for everything.
That's right. So this pass is actually an upgrade option to your full day pass that you have already purchased to Thrill Water Park. So it's kind of like an add-on. So this upgrade option, the Rides and Slide Pass, it will grant you access to the park 1 hour before it opens to the general pass holders. And to reserve this, as Lori was just stating, you want to go to Pre-Cruise Planner to do it. It just makes sense to pre-book it if you can, so you're guaranteed a spot. And you're guaranteed, what you want to do when you're here. So you go to royalcaribbean.com/cruise planner. And then, of course, if for any reason you don't pre-book it, you can always go to the shore excursion office once on board to add this. But again, always recommend pre-booking anything before you sail. The pricing is also discounted as well when you book things online prior than doing it once on board the ship. That's an important thing to note if you ever have clients asking. So, all right, what ships are going to be sailing to Perfect Day? I know we just mentioned some in the 2020 deployment 21 that Lori just reviewed. You know, we have tons of ships that are going here. So there's tons of opportunity for your clients to visit. There's also a couple ships that offer 2 stops at Perfect Day along their itinerary. So that gives you more opportunity to check out not just one area, but 2 or 3 or 4, depending how busy you want to be when you're there. But there's definitely some opportunities with some of our sailings, and they are on the 4-night itinerary sailings on the Mariner and the Navigator that you can do the 2 stops at Perfect Day. So just overall, there's a total of 15 ships out of our fleet that will be calling on Perfect Day. And again, if you want a flyer on this or you more information on deployment, visit loyaltoyoualways.com just to learn more about everything that I've told you about today. But we're going to stop there in Perfect Day, since I could probably go on and on about this for hours, and we're going to switch it over to something else that's exciting, and it was recently announced, but I'm going to let Lori, I'm going to stop talking, I'm going to let Lori spill the beans on what's next.
I love it. Well, I'm going to let you catch your breath for a minute. I'm going to talk to them, and hopefully y'all are staying with us and not jumping off to book Perfect Day and literally getting on the ship and packing your bags. Hopefully you're staying with us to hear the rest. Royal Beach Club Collection is something so exciting, and yet another new announcement for Royal Caribbean. And the first of the collection, that's the collection, will be the Royal Beach Club at Fort James in Antigua. And we're thrilled to announce this. It was just made official last week, and this will be an ultimate beach experience. It's going to be like nothing else. It's the Royal Beach Club Collection. It will bring unique features and flavors from each destination to life. In Antigua, you're going to have opportunities to have private cabanas. There's going to be swimming pools, swim-up bars, and ordering that classic Caribbean cocktail, maybe a rum punch. But it's going to be amazing. In fact, I would love to share a quote from Michael Bailey, our president. And he shares, "The Royal Beach Club Collection is an adventure we cannot wait to reveal to our guests. We have incredible partners in the government of Antigua and Barbuda to bring the first of our collection to life. Together, we are designing an experience that will bring more visitors to these idyllic islands and will create significant economic benefit and opportunities for the local employment for many years to come." So we're really, really pleased. It's going to be a true beach club. We're going to have regional fare and specialty restaurants, island barbecue, live music, swim-up bars, snorkeling, paddleboarding, all the water sports, and of course, flawless beaches to go with this swimming pool and all the other activities. So I don't know about you, Marissa, but it feels like a slight extension of Perfect Day, but not quite exactly the same. But we are just thrilled to be announcing Antigua, which will come online in 2021 next year, and many more of these bespoke experiences will be created. So more to come for sure. Now I want to talk about something kind of fun or important, of course, and that's Loyal to You Always. Now, if you've been paying attention, you've noticed that Marissa has mentioned loyaltoyoualways.com, and I know you all know this, and I know you all have this bookmarked, and if you don't, then you can do it today. Because I don't know about you, Marissa, but I'm in Loyal to You Always every day. It's got deployment information, marketing tools where you can customize emails and flyers and even social media, Facebook posts, all customizable, product updates. Anytime we announce something new, it's all there, and the current offers, because this is a competitive marketplace with amazing offers at the moment, and they change all the time. This is your one-stop shop, Loyal to You Always. It isn't even password protected. So in Loyal to You Always is the marketing, but what I love is the Collector's Circle, and it is an opportunity for Royal Caribbean University graduates to earn badges. Now, these are badges of honor. When you know your product and you have knowledge of your product, it's power, and it enhances your sales capabilities. So we're thrilled to tell you that we now have badges that are available. And if you look at the next slide, or no, actually, I'm going to have you stay on that slide, Marissa, for just a minute more. I want to share the ways you can earn them. Or actually, go to the next slide. Thank you. And I'm feeling a little schizophrenic at the moment, but that's all good. Bottom line is to go and find out where you earn the badges. Thank you so much. You can actually go into Royal Caribbean University. Of course, you can enter it through Cruising Power, and you go to the Collector's Circle. And the way you earn these badges is by finishing and completing different coursework. And there's things like the National Trade Webcast. That's a way to earn the badge. Some of the coursework like the technology courses, the new eQuote course, completing game challenges. All these things are ways that you can actually earn the badges. So the really cool part about this is not just having the badge of honor, which is to me to show that you know Royal Caribbean well, but actually RCU students who get all the badges available by the end of this year, listen carefully, you're going to be entered into an opportunity to win a 7-night cruise for 2 complimentary, and there will be an additional 100 winners that will get a bag full, and when I say full, I mean full of Royal Caribbean goodies. So much more, so much fun opportunity. Be a collector of these badges, but mostly be a collector of the knowledge. That's the real key here. So something in espresso, something big. Now, many of y'all like to drink it. We prefer you to use it to make lots of bookings on Royal Caribbean. And we now have a new functionality, which is to have the family stateroom of 5 or more indicator. And so if we look at the next slide, what you're going to see is a sample of what you see in espresso when it indicates that the stateroom holds 5 or more guests. Now, you still have to book that. The 4 you can book through automation. You'd have to then add the 5th person. But the fact that you can book these essentially with the 4 guests through automation and just add that 5th guest is a huge game changer for how we've always operated. And we've listened to you, we've learned, we know this was an important feature, and we're thrilled to introduce this as a user-friendly tool. But another great new tool, and I mentioned it briefly, there's actually a Royal Caribbean course on it, is the eQuote. This is phenomenal, you all. I'm so excited about this. You can create tailor-made eQuotes in a snap. You can leverage the power of this polished way to actually grow your business with your clients. You can actually outline their dream itinerary, pull in the ports of call, feature the promotional pricing, and personalize it with all your business information. But what I love, even your logo, what I love is when you create this eQuote, if the price fluctuates, it actually changes with the pricing. So it's always relevant, it's always timely, and it's always accurate. Huge, huge opportunity to look like the pro that you are. There's something else I love, Marissa, I think you want to tell them about, which is our Next Cruise app functionality.
I do. And, you know, Next Cruise, this is a really new, exciting addition to their onboard program. Just a really quick refresher, just those not familiar with the Next Cruise program, it is our onboard booking program. So guests have the opportunity to book while on board, take advantage of the richest offer available, up to $600 in savings. And you know, it's also a win for you because the booking, the commission, it comes directly back to you. You have to do no work at all, which is fantastic, but you do get the commission in full for that. So your clients can now take advantage of the best Royal Caribbean offers right at their fingertips, on their personal device, anywhere on the ship, and at their own convenience. All they have to do is just simply download the RCI app and then connect to the Royal Caribbean Wi-Fi network. And it's free. They don't need to purchase a Wi-Fi package to do this. So, you know, they can be sipping a drink by the pool, or they can be waiting for trivia to begin in the schooner bar, and your clients can make their own Next Cruise book later reservation when on board. So that's great. And we currently have this on 20 ships within our fleet that have launched this new feature on the app. And then the additional ships are in the works. We'll eventually have it fleet-wide, but currently right now it's on 20 ships that we have the Royal Caribbean app where they can also use the Next Cruise booking tool. So if you do have a specific question on this app, you know, how does it work? What offer will I get, etc. We have a full FAQ document, which is great in answering all questions. And it is, again, in loyaltyalways.com. And there's a whole entire dedicated Next Cruise section that will give you probably any answers to the questions that you may have on how it works or anything else. Okay, so we are going to stop there. We had a lot of information this webinar. You know, I hope we gave you a lot of valuable information, maybe even some new news, but I do believe, Anna, that we're going to take a few questions that have come in.
We are, thank you so much. Our first question is from Gia, who is wondering if Royal Caribbean will add an overnight stay to CocoCay.
Do you want me to take that, Marissa?
Sure.
We are looking at that all the time. We have extended stays. Marissa beautifully articulated that we're doing double stops in Perfect Day, and we have the lighting, we have all the facilities needed to do so. We're just trying to figure out all the logistics. So it is not anything that we can officially tell you today, but we are looking very carefully at trying to do just that.
Okay, got it. Our next question is from Valerie, who is wondering where agents can find out about seminars at sea and ship inspections and all of that.
I can take that. So seminars at sea, ship inspections, they're all going to be run through if you have a local strategic account manager or your local rep for Royal Caribbean, you can work with them to set something up or see what they have available.
Okay, perfect. This next question is from Shannon, who is wondering when the Wonder of the Seas itineraries will be released.
That's a great question. We don't have the details yet. Marissa, do you actually have dates? Because it's not sailing till 2021. I think that we're on hold right now, but later this year for sure. So.
Yep, we are on hold right now, but I would say it's going to be released, fingers crossed, within the next month or two. We should hear more information on it.
Okay, wonderful. We do have some agents wondering about accessibility and food options, allergies, gluten allergies. So if you could speak to that, that would be great.
I can start, Marissa, and if there's anything you want to add. So we definitely, as far as a cruise line goes, we have a great deal of concern and respect for our clients as far as ADA compliance and capabilities and accessibility, not only on the ships, but especially on the island experiences that we're developing out. To give an example, in Perfect Day, we have beach wheelchairs available and readily available, as well as the carts and the trams that can take our guests all throughout the island. And then when it comes to ships, we have, of course, our accessible cabins and all sorts of accessibility considerations for our guests to enjoy and make sure that they too are inclusive in all experiences. As far as dietary needs, we also have many dietary menus and restricted menus that we can accommodate and facilitate. And I don't know exactly in the booking process where you go through. Marissa, you may be able to shed light on this, but I know there is an area and an entire department that works not only with accessibility as far as the accessibility on the ship and the destination information, but also with the dietary restrictions. And we do work very closely with all of those special requirements.
Yeah, and with the dietary restrictions, that's something that you as a travel partner can input into the guest reservation. There is an area to do that, or you can also have the guests advise them once they get on board the ship to let your waiter or the maitre d' know of any special restrictions that they have. I also did want to note we had come out, oh goodness, I think it was in December maybe. We have a whole new vegan menu on board our ships, which we've never had before, and we actually have a full menu dedicated now to those guests that need a vegan option. So that's something new. But I mean, any kind of like gluten, I know we have kosher meals. We have a lot of different things that can be, but we also have an access department that can help you with anything that you need question-wise. And again, we also have this information on loyaltyalways.com. We have a full section on the dietary restriction and then our accessibility options that we have as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Our next question, we have a lot coming in. Everyone's really excited about the floating cabanas. And we have some questions, Marissa, if you could repeat the pricing and the duration usage for the floating cabanas.
Yep, so the floating cabanas, they start from $9.99, and that's for up to 8 guests. So for a total of 8 guests, it's starting from $9.99. The pricing does fluctuate depending on the season. So if your guest has a reservation, they're going to Perfect Day, they want to go on and see what the pricing is for their particular sailing, it may or may not be $9.99. It may be a little bit more, but that is the starting from price. And that also does include the entry to Cocoa Beach Club for 8 people. So I like to put it into perspective where, you know, $9.99 starting from may sound like a very high price, but think about it this way. So you take $9.99 and you divide that by 8 people. That's $125 per person. If you were not doing that floating cabana and you were going in with just the entry fee, that's starting at $99 per adult. So that's only an extra $25 per person if you have 8 people that you would be getting your own floating cabana. So to me, it's a great value, but it does start at $9.99. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, perfect. I'm sold. I'm ready. Our next question is from Lisa, who is wondering if there are covered day beds available at the Cocoa Beach Club.
Let me try to see. I believe that they are. We would have to double check.
Yeah, what it is the Shades lounges have the umbrellas over them. So I don't know if they're shaded and they're movable, as are the umbrellas. And then there's the inside area with the sofa. So it's kind of not exactly, but yes, there's lots of shaded areas and lots of flexibility with the lounge chairs and everything else to be in the shade. Does that make sense?
It does.
Let me note one other thing too, and we actually got a bunch of pictures that were available from the first sailing from Cocoa Beach Club. So within this presentation, this is not all, and I know that we have pictures of different areas, you know, like more pictures of the day beds and the umbrellas and the in-pool loungers. They just were not put into this presentation, and I think I forgot to note it during my my time that I was talking about Cocoa Beach Club, but you actually all have access to RoyalCaribbeanPressCenter.com, and you can download and see all of the available images to you. You can use that for marketing or whatever you would need it for, but there are a lot more pictures if you wanted to take a look at that. Again, that's RoyalCaribbeanPressCenter.com.
Okay, perfect. We have a couple more questions. This one is from Linda, who is wondering if there is an adult-only area on the Perfect Days Islands.
There is not that I know of, Marissa, because I think
there's
things like the Cocoa Beach Club, you know, obviously you're paying for entry, so there will be some families that are willing to do that, but I think it's going to be a more selective area. And remember, Cocoa Beach Club, Perfect Day has not been completely developed out yet, and there are miles and miles of beaches, maybe not miles and miles, but there are long stretches of beaches, that's a better way to say it, that are, it's not crowded, it's not, the island can take over 10,000 people at one time as it stands today, and it hasn't even been fully developed out. Wink, wink, or hint, hint. So there will probably be more announcements in the future at further enhancements to Perfect Day at Coco Cay. So while there is not technically an exclusive adults-only area, there are plenty of areas to have quiet space, private space, and then of course with the Cocoa Beach Club being paid entry, it's a much more exclusive environment as well.
Okay, perfect. And we have a few agents wondering how they find their BDM.
Oh, that's a great one. Marissa, you want to take that?
Yep. So the easiest way to find out is if you go into cruisingpower.com and you log in. On the top right-hand side, there's a little link that says Contact Us. Since when you log in, it has all of your agency details. It kind of pulls that information. So once you hit Contact Us, that link, it automatically brings up who your strategic account manager is, along with their support. They'll have their pictures, their support inbox, their phone number to contact them.
Okay, perfect. And Nicole is wondering if you can just repeat when Allure is having the 65-day renovation.
Yes, I actually have the date. She is supposed to leave on March 13th, and she'll return on May 10th. How's that for a deal?
Perfect. And our last question is from April, who is wondering if you have any more information on the Icon class.
Ah, the big teaser.
I wish I knew more about the Icon class.
I know. They will not tell us, because you know why?
Nope.
They know if they tell us, that we're going to tell you. So they have not shared, because not that they don't trust us, right, Marissa? It's just that they know we love you guys, and they know we want to bring you in the loop, and so they're just simply not sharing because they know we're going to tell. So as soon as we have information, you know we're going to tell you, and now this is almost like a quiz where we can't hear your answer. Where can you go to get the information at all times on the most relevant and newest information ever? It's loyaltoualways.com. So, Anna, it sounds like that was our last question, right?
Yes, it was.
I think we should wrap up today, and just really, I want to thank you, Anna, and CLIA for the opportunity to speak with you all. I want to thank Marissa, my partner in crime, but more importantly, without you, we have no reason to be here. We need you. You can see we have a huge lineup of exciting new adventures, whether it's amplified ships, brand new ships coming into the fleet, Perfect Day Island collections, Royal Beach Club collections, so many things that we need you to put a voice to. We need you to explain to your clients the difference, the value of the Royal Caribbean cruise. And we thank you in advance for all that support you're going to provide. We hope you enjoyed today, and we just can't wait to build business together with you. We want to help you be successful, and we thank you. We thank you every day for what you do.
Thank you, Lori and Marissa, and I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your day and a great weekend. Bye.
Thanks so much, everyone. Good selling.
Bye. Thanks.